Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. Now we got something from VooDoo Ranger. This is their Hobby Pack, or as they say on the side here, Action Pack. Now the VooDoo Ranger series from New Belgium's been expanding for the last few years, and all pretty solid until we hit the fruity ones. Juice Force is in here. Juice Force was good. Once we got to Fruit Force and Tropical Force, something was just off about those last two, and I didn't quite care for them, but Juice Force is still kind of a go-to from time to time. You get a nice big, 22.5-ounce can for like $3 or $4 at the convenience store. You get 3 or 4 of those, and you're good for the evening. But I was surprised to see in this one, there's 3 beers that I have not seen before. Now, they're not tagged as new, so maybe they're just new to me. But we've got Hop Raider, Hop Avenger, and Captain Dynamite. So if you'll indulge me in a little nostalgia here, Action Pack, when I saw this, it reminded me of Action Pack. And if anybody remembers what I'm talking about here, it was a syndicated movie of the week type of thing that they would do on one of the big 3 affiliates. I can't remember if it was NBC, CBS, or ABC, but it was responsible for, I think it was a follow-up to the Midnight Run movies, or maybe it was 48 Hours, not 48 Hours, 48 Hours is the new show. Anyway, I think it was Midnight Run. It was a follow-up to that. There was a Knight Rider 2010, which wasn't even remotely connected to the original show or the Knight Rider 2000 TV movie, and it was way off the rails from what we had seen in those. Very different. There were a couple of other things, but it was also responsible for Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, which, of course, spun off into a very successful TV show and had a spin-off of its own in Xena Warrior Princess. So just, a little trip down memory lane when I saw Action Pack back to, like, I think the mid-fucking 90s there. So that's something. That's nothing, really. I don't know why I went off on that. I promise I'm stone cold sober right now. So these are all fairly high ABV. The IBUs aren't listed. So we're going to start in the order of the highest ABV to the lowest, because I'm looking to marathon tonight. I don't want to get fucking plowed, starting with the lower beers and getting my ass kicked by the higher ones all of a sudden. You don't want to up the ante, you want to decrease it. So we're going to go with VooDoo Ranger Juice Force IPA at 9.5% ABV. Now there's nothing on the can, but the descriptions are on the box here, sideways. I'm going to go Taco Neck Syndrome here. And it's a fruit-forward, highly drinkable blast with this hazy IPA. You'll be buzzing the tower in no time. Gee, not so subtle reference there, but hey, whatever. One thing I did notice about this pack, the box is nice and solid. In the age of flimsy 12-packs, this thing looks like it can take a beating. So that's also something that's neither here nor there, and I don't know why I mentioned it. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. Just wait until I get a few of these in me, folks. I am not going to be able to shut the fuck up. Good thing I'm drinking alone. Juice Force. We kind of know what to expect from this. Quite hazy, very effervescent, lots of bubbles coming up from there. Got a decent head on it without trying too hard. Look at that, like a tornado of bubbles coming up from that nucleation point at the bottom of the glass. This is one of the reasons I use the Sam Adams glass. Love that nucleation point. Plus, this is designed specifically for Boston Lager, but it works for all beer styles at least somewhat, so I don't have to keep like 6 or 7 different types of glass on hand. I am just transfixed by those bubbles. That is awesome. I could watch that all night, but we're here to drink beer and talk about it. Smells a little juicy and fruity. Maybe a hint of citrus, but just an overall like sweet, juicy fruitiness with some hoppy undertones. Yep, 9.5% ABV. You barely know it because it's so hoppy. hits you up front with that nice burst of hoppy bitterness. Kind of resolves into citrus notes. Hint of grassiness. Maybe some dank, earthy undertones too, which is kind of neat. So I'm getting a decent blend. I don't know if this is the same tastes, the same hop esters that I got the first time I tried this on camera, but again, these things can change. Your taste is subjective, and it can also, certain things can come forward depending on what you've eaten or drank previously in any given day. So underneath the hop notes, there's just this slightly sweet, fruity finish, and nothing distinct coming through. I'm not getting like specific fruit flavors. It's just an overall fruitiness with a citrus, leaning towards citrus, obviously because of the hop notes. But yeah, I mean, it's just solid. And like I said before, 9.5% ABV, and being remarkably easy drinking. You can grab a handful of these and you're set for the night. You just got to be careful not to go too fast, or you're going to wind up, you know, passed out in front of the TV, or drunk and wandering around somewhere you shouldn't be because you're too drunk to drive, but you can walk. You can walk all over town. Anyway, so Juice Force is a solid 5 out of 5 from me, just because I really enjoy it. It's become one of my go-tos, and it's just so easy drinking for what it is, and it's well-rounded. Again, I don't know if that's the same as I rated it the first time I did it on camera, but pardon, see my earlier points. So I'm going to finish this up, and we're going to drop down to the 8.1% ABV Hop Raider. Now, pardon, we will be cleansing with water in between each of these beers, cleansing the palate, that is. With exceptionally hoppy beers, it's not necessarily going to completely, you know, cleanse the palate, but we're going to get some water in and stay hydrated and hopefully refresh those taste buds. So, anyway, yeah, next up, Hop Raider. All right, so next up is Hop Raider, kind of like a Tomb Raider / Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, Lara Croft type of thing going on here with the motif. And it says here, world-class hops packed with notes of citrus, stone fruit, and a refreshing bite. All right. I have no idea what stone fruit tastes like, so... Well, actually, maybe I have had it in a beer before, but not so that I'd be able to pick it out. Holy shit, look at that. It's not hazy. So refreshing to see a non-hazy IPA. There's like this whole school of thought that an IPA has to be slightly hazy. That an IPA has to be really hazy to be good, and that is not the fucking case at all. They never used to be hazy at all. Hazy is usually either particulates or, you know, Irish moss in there, just lending haze for the sake of haze. Not as effervescent as the last one, much clearer, a nice light golden yellow color, and mostly clear. Now, I don't know what stone fruit is supposed to smell or taste like, but I'm pretty sure I'm smelling it. There's this weird, almost sour, fruity aroma coming off of it. And a hint of hoppy bitterness. That's pretty much it. It's pretty smooth. It's weird. I'm going to say grassy, dank, and earthy. Getting dank and earthy and a couple of beers back to back, that's unusual. For the hop esters, but it almost tastes a bit like a brewed tea, like tea. There's a very slight hint of fruitiness with a sourness to it. It was more intense in the aroma than in the flavor, I think. I mean, I'm kind of getting a hint of citrus, but not like I expected, because if it's notes of citrus, stone fruit, and refreshing bite. See, I was expecting more citrus, and I'm keyed toward citrus and pine, so I usually pick up on citrus really easily. But I'm just getting a faint bit of it here. And it's definitely interesting. Slightly different, and it's got my attention. Yeah, that tea flavor and the dank, grassy, earthy notes. It's different for me. And it's not quite blowing me away. And also at 8.1% ABV, you wouldn't know it was that high at all. Like, you know, Juice Force, you can kind of tell that it's a higher ABV beer, but not quite that high, because there's just a hint of that booziness to it. With this, there's nothing at all. Extremely smooth. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Mostly just because I didn't get that like wow or wholly unique experience from it. I have had beers that are similar to this, a high ABV, hop-centric beer that tastes like a brewed tea with a hint of fruitiness. So it's not standing out from those, but it's about as close to being a standout as it can get. So again, not quite ready to push it up to that perfect 5 out of 5 rating, but it's as close as it's going to get. All right, we are going to finish this up, and we're going to go on to Hop Avenger. All right, next up is Hop Avenger IPA, and this is like a superhero style thing. Just looking, this is the first of the VooDoo Ranger characters I remember seeing with a gold tooth. So, just noticing that. All right, Hop Avenger with super tropical aromas. Hop Avenger packs a powerful pineapple punch. Ooh, alliteration. Gotta love it. Wait, alliteration, powerful pineapple punch. That's alliteration, right? I think it is. It's the one. I think it's automatopoeia is what I'm thinking of when the words sound like what they are, the noise they're describing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure alliteration is a repeat of the same consonant or whatever. Yeah, who cares? Again, off on the tangents. Holy shit. If the last one was not hazy, this one is definitely hazy with tons of particulates I can see floating in there. Holy fuck. I'm not a fan of the chunky beers. Now, it's probably just hop oils, hop particulates, maybe even some yeast. Should have rolled the can ahead of time, but that is just a chunky fucking beer. I can see the solids floating in it, and that just is 100% off-putting to me. If you've seen those videos on this channel, I've kind of come to learn to accept that this is a reality when dealing with some beers, and you're not going to get the chunks. You're not actually going to get that texture when you taste it. I forgot to comment on the mouthfeel of the first two, but whatever. This is definitely an off night. They've all been off nights lately. Anyway, chunky fucking beer. Smells like pineapple and hops. I'm liking the aroma. Like I said, just like this hoppy, bitter, but pineapple-y aroma. Smooth. It's not chunky. It's chunky, but it's not chunky in terms of the texture. Nice medium mouthfeel. Going down smooth and easy. At 7.7% ABV on this one. We're getting more into the territory where you're not as impressed by the lack of booziness, but it's still one of the higher ABV beers out there. Maybe a hint of citrus. A little bit of grassiness. Pineapple. I want to say coconut, but coconut doesn't really taste like much of anything. And pineapple. Maybe a hint of coconut. Maybe some other tropical fruits like mango, etc. But distinctly tropical. Not like Tropic Force, which did not sit well. This is just smooth, easy to drink. It's not bad. Tropical Juicy IPA. With chunks. Putting this one into 3.5 out of 5. It's good, it's solid, it's a decent beer overall, and again, it's getting some points for being 7.7% without being overly boozy or even, a hint of booziness, but it's not standing out from the crowd. Not as much as Hop Raider did. Pardon. First 2.25 beers are catching up to me. It's just not quite standing out as much from other fruity, tropical, hazy IPAs. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 2.5 is average. So 3.5 is a pretty decent rating. Again, it's above average. It is what it is. All right, we're going to finish this one up and move on to Captain Dynamite. All right, finally, folks, we have Captain Dynamite. Captain fucking Dynamite. This is my guy right here. I mean, look at him. His name alone, Captain Dynamite. I bet he blows shit up all the time. I love blowing shit up. This hazy IPA is juiced with Mosaic, Simcoe, and Cascade hops that explode with tropical citrus flavors. So they went for 2 tropicals. Well, yeah, 2 tropicals. Stone fruit, I guess that could be called tropical. I don't know. Juice Force, not tropical. But anyway, yes, Captain fucking Dynamite. With glowing hops, looking like grenades being tossed out. Just boom, boom, motherfucker. Blowing shit up. That's my man, the flaming goggles. Alright. I guess if I had to be a superhero, I'd be Captain fucking Dynamite. With like, maybe super effervescent beers with tons of CO2 packed inside. You just shake the can up, toss it, and when it hits something, it just explodes and totally decimates the area. All right. Weird fucking night, man. My brain is going to weird places. And, of course, the hazy Captain Dynamite also has chunks. Fuck. It actually looks hazier than the last one, but with fewer chunks. It's got a nice light yellow color here. It darkens to a bit of a nice golden, maybe brassy bronze color up there. There you go, brass. Yeah, brass is yellower than bronze, I think. Yes, brass is definitely yellower than bronze, so I'm gonna go with brass. Gold to brass. Better than mouth to ass. Hey, that's backwards. Jesus Christ, where is my head tonight? Okay, Captain Dynamite Does have a nice tropical aroma. Yeah, tropical, almost maybe a hint of metallic. Interesting. Boom, bitches. Smooth and easy to drink. Wouldn't know 7.7% ABV. 7.7, yep, both of these are 7.7. It's got a much lighter mouthfeel than I would have expected, but still kind of like medium light. I can't feel the chunks. I can only see them. Smooth, easy to drink. Like tropical-ish. Non-distinct tropical flavor, which is probably, again, pineapple, coconut, and some tropical fruit type esters. It's got a fresh finish to it, like a sea breeze. Probably goes along with the tropical theme. But yeah, nice fresh finish to it, which is like, it's got some grassy notes on the hops that linger on the tongue after you drink it. Maybe a hint of citrus, some earthy. So that's interesting, though, that I'm picking up on a lot of earthy and grassy notes in all four of these beers, and some dankness in some of the others. Again, I usually get citrus and pine for the most part, but it's decent. I'm hitting this one with a 4 out of 5. Same justification as the 3.5 on, Hop Avenger, but, excuse me, the different taste elements are just coming together a little bit better in Captain Dynamite. Excuse me. Great. The body can't decide if it wants to burp or hiccup. For the burps, because the hiccups are annoying, but either one's not a good sign this early in the evening. And I got another 12 pack I want to get through. Not all 12, just the 4 varieties, but see what happens. But yeah, it's not really distinguishing itself from the crowd of tropical hazy IPAs, but it's just giving me some kind of combination of elements together that are just working well enough to bring an overall flavor to it that I'm giving it some extra points and bumping it up to the 4. Anyway, so it's a pretty solid pack despite the chunky fucking beers, which that's my issue, not yours, so you might not care, or you might. If you do, I'm glad to have warned you. But the VooDoo Ranger Hoppy Pack, or Action Pack, as it says here, overall a solid fucking variety. Today I'm giving the Juice Force a 5 out of 5. Even on days when I'm not feeling it as strongly, it's still kind of like a go-to. I went over that earlier. Hop Raider, pretty decent at, I gave it a 4.5. And then the Hop Avenger, 3.5. And Captain Dynamite, I was really psyched about, but kind of let me down because it had some elements I'm not too thrilled about, but wound up being a pretty damn decent beer at 4% ABV. Overall, nice solid pack. You should go pick one up. Once you have and you've checked them out, make sure to hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Love to hear what you have to say about these beers in the pack or as individual beers separately. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in.